Hello, ladies. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Dana. I am a certified holistic nutrition coach who specializes in helping busy women overcome fatigue, burnout, endless exhaustion, brain fog, as well as a multitude of other frustrating, confusing symptoms that are just getting in the way of them feeling like themselves. I am the founder of the Energy Rejuvenation VIP Solution, and I have a number of different programs, levels of working with me, from group membership to all the way to one-on-one personalized coaching. And you can always check me out if you are interested. So today I am talking about the women's energy crisis and why this is happening and what you can do to fix your fatigue if you are feeling like you're kind of stuck in this. So things are popping up on my screen, but let's get started. So I've kind of gone through what I feel the energy crisis is on my website. If you want to check out a little bit more on that, definitely go over to www.theenergizedwoman.com. But here is how I see the women's energy crisis playing out today. Women are exhausted. A lot of women are struggling with chronic exhaustion. Burnout is prevalent in all areas of life. And as they have every right to, they are working their butts off. They are trying to, achieve their dreams and goals in their career, or they're starting and building a business and they want to hit like 6 or 7 figures. And or they're also maybe raising a family, having kids, and all of that stuff. Whatever it is that they've always dreamed of doing, they deserve to have all of that. But today, they're so tired, just like bone-crushingly tired. And unfortunately, the more I talk to them, the more I hear that they're trying so desperately to fix their fatigue. They are so determined. They have this ambition and motivation deep within them to fix this because of these dreams and these desires and wanting to connect with everybody that's important to them. But no matter what they're doing, things are not working out. Their energy is just tanking year after year after year. And they're sick of operating at less than their fullest potential. They're tired of just settling for what's just easier rather than going after what they really want. I lived through that myself in career choices when my exhaustion was so bad in my late teens, early 20s, and I wanted to go to university and I wanted to have that higher education, and I really wanted to be in the medical field at that point, or in science of some way. I had a few different ideas going on, but every single one of those aspirations that I was really wanting to move into took more than 4 years of school, took a lot of labs, a lot of science, a lot of studying, a lot of hard work, and I just did not feel like I was capable of keeping up with it. I tried to tell myself it would be okay in my first year of university, and I took a full course load. One course had a lab. I did try to do a second course with the lab. I got about a week in. I was like, no, can't do that. Switched to a different course without a lab and ended up dropping that course as well, and was taking about an 80% course load throughout that first year. That was a lot for me. So it was kind of disheartening and saddening for me to feel like I'm never going to get to do what I really want to do because I'm so exhausted. And I know a lot of women feel the same way. They are battling this too, and they feel like they're in a good place, they're making money, they enjoy their career, but it's not what they really wanted to do. The other problem is that women we're kind of put into this whole other category when it comes to our health. It's not because we're not fixable or historical editions say we're not hysterical, we're not crazy, we're not witches, unless you identify as that, and that's totally cool. But I mean the way it was portrayed in the 1600s, crazy people. None of that is true. we are just uniquely feminine. And most of the health protocols and science research is done on men. And if it's done on women, it's really not focused at all on what makes us uniquely feminine. And that is our hormones, our hormonal makeup, as well as our intuition and the femininity side of things. And so when we go to our doctors, no matter what field, Western, alternative, natural, whatever it is, a lot of times we're just kind of brushed off and given the bare minimum solutions or treatments. It's often very symptom specific because that is how a lot of medicine has been created. Find the symptom. They say they're looking at the root cause, but it's really not. It's just the cause of the symptom based on what their science and research has done, which doesn't necessarily equate to the root cause. And we'll talk about that throughout the trainings. Women then are getting frustrated because they're not getting answers from the experts. And so then they're like, and I'm guilty of this too, then they're like, forget it. I will just do this on my own. So off they go and start researching like mad, like Googling everything, trying out all the things, signing up for all the free stuff, and then getting on those email lists where they're telling you today it's magnesium that you're deficient in. Like, no, wait, it's this miracle supplement formula. Or no, it's this. Again, I can relate because I did that too. And what that's doing to us is really just causing more and more confusion. Some people are taking really extreme measures to fix their exhaustion. Basically, I get it. You're so desperate to feel normal, like yourself again, to be functioning, successful, radiant, in love with life, that you will pretty much do anything that looks like it promises high energy, right? Totally get that. So a lot of women are taking these extreme measures with not only supplements, but buying into like very male-centric protocols or programs that market themselves as really awesome for health and natural health, especially for, keep in mind that marketing gimmicks are around us. They abound. Fad diets, they are another really popular extreme measure, like low carb, keto, detoxes, cleanses, all these things. People are going in for high dose IV vitamin shots continuously, or sometimes they're moving into like expensive energy clearing techniques because they've tried eating healthy, they've tried the supplements, they've tried exercising, that isn't working. So maybe it's this energetics. I'll try this over here. Nothing is working. Women are starting to feel very lost, alone, and so confused. And maybe you can relate to this. If this resonates with you, then I'm glad you're listening because we're going to clear up some of this stuff for you. Basically, I just want to iterate that enough is enough. I am here as your advocate, your women's health advocate, to help you understand that there is a deeper root cause to your chronic fatigue that just hasn't been discovered yet because you haven't been told how to get there. I'm here to help you recalibrate your energy holistically and take back control of your own health and body. So the women's energy crisis is essentially this phenomenon where women are treated like they're crazy, they're brushed off, they're ignored, they're given like the first thing that someone can think of based on energy or lab tests and told to go on their way. So what is really happening here? Well, I'd say a big part of this women's energy crisis is how women are being gaslighted. And I kind of already touched on that with being brushed off and, like, no. It's all in your head, or it's normal because you're a woman and you're busy and you're trying to take it all on. There's this idea that we shouldn't be able to have a career or a business and a family, right? And so if you have all that stuff going on, you're kind of given this message that, well, what do you expect? Also, touched on a lot of this, but the wrong diet. There's a lot of really bad nutrition information out there on the internet from health blogs, so-called experts, doctors. even to the extent like alternative naturopaths and functional doctors, just based on what my clients have told me and who they've been working with and what they've been given to try. So there's a lot of really wrong food information and nutrition information, which is why I just wanted to let you know that like nutrition seems like it's really easy, but it's not when you're battling fatigue. It requires a very specific set of nutrients and a very specific focus and application of nutrition in order to feel your best. It's also really confusing and stressing us out that there's so much information out there on how to fix fatigue, right? There's so many programs. Everybody talks about it these days. Everybody is using energy, get more energy as their marketing material. Even if they are a digestion expert or they are, I don't know, a fitness expert, all about energy, right? Because everybody wants more energy. But there's a lot of information, and what that does to you is creates this excessive amount of confusion, because not only are you getting really wrong advice and information, but now you're trying to sift through this on your own and figure out what is actually going to help me, what is true, because that's conflicts with this, and this guy says that, and she says that, and I just don't even know what to do or where to start. So we feel really overwhelmed by the information, and it makes us distrustful of more information, more nutrition information, more protocols that are out there. And I get it. It's really hard to know who to trust and who is right and who's got things going on. And I'm hopefully going to help clear up like where you should focus. I mean, I'd love for you to work with me, but even if it's not me, my mission is to really just make sure that you are getting the best advice for you so that you can finally shift onto the right path for you and feel amazing, because I know it's possible for you. We just haven't found your path yet. So we're going to talk and get you there. Maybe not in this training, but in one of the future trainings, we are going to put it all together for you and get you on your path. Another really big problem that I notice happening is because there's so much information and because we want quick, immediate results, we want that easy button, don't we? We are shifting and changing our diets, our supplements, our exercise routine, our self-care, our solutions, our treatments so much that it's just confusing your poor body and adding more stress. So one of the main root causes of why you're so exhausted and you can't get better is because you are, your body is in a state of dysregulated stress response. So I'm not saying that you are stressed out, although you probably are, but I'm saying that your body just isn't set up to handle the stress. And we contribute to that stress load ourselves, especially when we go and try to fix our health on our own. I put myself into burnout because I was trying to fix my chronic fatigue. That's how stressful this is, right? There's just so much information. I don't know what to do. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. And then we end up just adding so much stress to the body. These are more physical stressors to the body that may or may not be conscious in our awareness, but we actually are causing more damage by shifting and changing and trying so many different things rather than being consistent. And I know that if you are consistent, things really do change, but we have to give that body, especially the adrenals and nervous system, a few solid weeks, like 3 to 4 months of solid gung-ho, like give it that old, what's the saying? Something try. Give it dedicated attention. But if you're on the wrong path, that can feel like a little scary because like, well, I've tried so many things and nothing works. I can't dedicate 4 more months to something that might be wrong. And again, we're going to talk about how to shift you onto that path where you feel really good about staying on your path because it is aligned with what your body needs. And I can tell you how we can figure that out together. And I'm just going to flat out say it. Don't listen to your medical doctor when it comes to how to overcome fatigue. They don't have time to deal with that. They don't have tests to tell you what's actually wrong. and it just frustrates them, so they end up giving you really bad advice. So take what you need from your doctor for your annual checkup or other problems, but when it comes to energy, that is something that needs a specialized expertise. And then, as I said, nutrition advice from non-experts, especially what we call crowdsourcing, or if you get on like a Facebook group and it's a bunch of people struggling with fatigue and you're all like, what are you eating for energy? And some guy says, I eat avocados, and some lady says, well, I eat bacon, and you're like, what do I do? Don't listen to that, because what works for one person may or may not work for you. That's why with personalized nutrition is so important. Especially, I would avoid listening to what men are doing for energy, because their needs are quite different from what our needs are. And then your unique makeup, physiology, biology, everything is different from everybody else's. So that's why we don't want to just randomly try nutrition ideas from random people. All right. So another problem that I have to bring up is this idea of, if you've maybe heard of it, sick care versus health care. So it's circulating more and more on social media and the internet and stuff. The idea that Western medicine, conventional medicine, is very focused on sick care as opposed to health care, because, again, they're experts in helping to dampen and suppress and get rid of your symptoms. There isn't a lot of focus on curing, more just suppressing. And then a lot of the times it's quick fix treatments like medications, pushing a medication, pushing a pill, pushing a prescription. And if you've ever read the insert of a magazine where it's advertising a medication and you see all the little fine print, read all the side effects, or even watch those commercials where they're telling you how great a medication is, and then it's like, side effects could include blah, 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 blah. That is a big problem, because we're adding more imbalances to the body by suppressing one symptom, two symptoms, but then quite often adding more problems later that then require more medication to suppress those. And then that adds up to a lot of toxicity, a lot of imbalances, a lot of just really confusing health problems that take a long time to untangle that web. And then there's this push for quick fixes. And I'm not going to say this is simply happening inside Western medicine, because I'm also seeing it now with a lot of natural health professionals, where supplements, it's just all about the supplements. A lot of the women that I talk to have gone to a naturopathic doctor or a functional doctor, and I've asked them, like, okay, so what are you doing with them? And it's always, oh, I'm taking this array of supplements. Like, okay, what about diet? Like, well, I'm just eating healthy. Like, I'm not really doing anything different. And I'm doing what I see online. Like, nobody's talking about diet. They're just pushing quick fix supplements at people. And again, this isn't going to fix anything. Supplements, especially one-off supplements, like only for adrenals or only vitamin B12 or only iron, will suppress part of the problem, but they're not addressing the whole bigger picture. And so we end up with more imbalances down the road that then, again, it's untangling this web of problems. It gets harder and harder and harder. Other really popular, like, quick fixes that women are trying are things like cleanses, like the celery juice cleanse, fad diets like keto, or 30-day challenges, initiatives, endeavors, you know what I mean, right? It's like 30 days to higher energy. These are just going to do a little bit of a shift in what you're already doing, so that you kind of feel like, oh, that feels better, because it's removing one or two little triggers to energy problems, but it's adding more like long-term deficiencies down the road. So I'll be perfectly honest with you. If you are really serious about overcoming chronic fatigue and burnout, it'll take you 4 to 6 months of dedicated work to rebalance all of the parts that need to be imbalanced. And it's 4 to 6 months because, like I said, I find that we have to untangle the web of imbalances and problems that all these other solutions and treatments have caused first. If I were to get a woman fresh with, like, I have been battling exhaustion for 6 months, I don't know what's going on, I haven't worked with anybody, I believe that I could get her back to her like amazing self within probably 6 to 8 weeks, but that's rare. So, what do we need to do to end this women's energy crisis? Well, I know that we need to start being really honest with ourselves. Take a look at what you've been doing up until now, everything. Think about it. Go back like 10 years. Anything that you can think of that you tried to fix your fatigue, get out of burnout. And I want you to inventory this and be really honest about how it worked. What wasn't working? What happened when you tried it? How long did it work? Were you able to maintain your newfound energy if you found some? All of that stuff. And then I want you to write out a list of things not to try again. Right? Because it takes this like really like almost a hard truth, writing it down, seeing like, okay, I tried the supplements. I felt okay on them, but as soon as I went off them, I was right back to square one. That is not working for you. That is simply a suppressing agent. I tried keto. I felt okay for 3 weeks and then I got burnt out. Not working. Get rid of that. Just make this list and be really honest, because I want you to start really noticing when very similar ideas are coming up on online searches or in magazines or talking to your doctor. And I want you to stand up and be like, no, that hasn't worked for me in the past. It's not going to work for me now. Because I'm going to tell you, there's way more options out there that you haven't tried up until this point if you're still exhausted. So don't worry, you haven't exhausted, no pun intended, all of the options. You've tried the surface level, tip of the iceberg ideas that are for the general population who are tired. Now we need to shift you into that specialized, uniquely feminine, amazingly like intuitive connection options that are going to actually hit your root cause. The other thing we need to do is let go of the idea that, but I already know it all. I've already done it all. I already know how to eat. I already know what to do. It's not working, right? If you're here, you're listening, it's not working. I've been stuck in that space too, where I'm like, I'm not listening to anybody else because I already know what to do, but it wasn't working for me. And then when I got into holistic nutrition and really started diving into that, I'm like, oh boy, was I wrong. I didn't know anything. I was so out to lunch with what I was trying to fix my own exhaustion back then. Hence why I put myself into burnout. But we need to become more open-minded, shift into that growth and learning, and it's letting your ego go and be like, okay, it's okay. I don't know everything. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to look for new ideas. It's okay for me to try something else. Taking it into our own hands is not the answer at this point. Another thing that really comes in handy, and this is maybe something that's a bit more advanced once you actually get your body renourished and on your right path to healing, but it's to tap into your own intuition and simply ask, what does my body need today? Or does my body need X, whatever is being offered, in order to heal or to become more energized? Take your time and listen. If someone's like, you should take this medication, I want you to be like, okay, let me think about it. Go back, find somewhere quiet and just listen. Tap in. Does my body need this medication to feel more energized? And really pay attention. If there's an instant no or some sort of resistance popping up, or you're kind of like close, like you start to close in, anything like that, that's a strong intuitive hit that that's not right for you. And so you can say no. And then keep asking this, because you'll come across something where your body's like, yes, yes, this is perfect for me. And then most importantly, you deserve to know the truth about why you're experiencing all the symptoms that you're experiencing, whether that's fatigue, brain fog, PMS, everything else, aches and pains, all the things that you're experiencing. We can tackle all of these together, and so you're not trying to suppress one at a time and getting confused by all the different treatments, but rather look at these as a whole, because you are a whole human being, and using all of those symptoms, they create a story and point back to what's known as your personal root cause. Then, with all of this, when you have someone that actually understands this, it's going to give you time, space, compassion, and understanding to really get into all of these little nuances of your health. That's when you find your root cause. You get answers, you get so much clarity, and you finally get direction that feels amazing to you, that's unique to you, that is moving you onto your right path. And this is something that this is what I do. This is essentially the bottom foundational work that I help and support my clients with. Is we get you to the root cause. I take that time to understand your whole story and find you your root cause, and then give you some simple tweaks, some simple nutrition strategies and lifestyle energetics options that are aligned to what your body needs, that will help propel you towards amazing energy. Now, that's really what I feel the women's energy crisis is. And I'm just going to finish this off with a little bit about me. So there's nothing new, no training after this. But my story. So I caught pneumonia when I was 12, and then I never recovered my energy. I was bounced around between doctors, specialists, more specialists, psychologists, for 3 years, until finally I went to a new doctor. Unless my mom was like, let's go to one more. And I'm like, oh goodness, what's the point? But we went to one more, and he's like, okay, I'm going to diagnose you with chronic fatigue syndrome, which felt awesome. Like someone's like, I'm like, oh, a diagnosis. And of course, he's like, I can't do anything for you, as most medical doctors will tell you today even. So that was really frustrating. And so essentially, because, for me, I was flat out told by the medical experts that were in my world that there was nothing they could do for me, which led me down that path of like, fine, I'll just fix it myself. It was either that or wallow and feel sorry for myself, and I didn't want that. So then I went out on my own and was always like dabbling in supplements and some food ideas and like 7-day meal plans and anything that felt easy that I could do, and nothing worked. And then I started struggling with some really nasty stomach pains that I ended up attributing to food combinations, like anytime I ate wheat, dairy, sugar, or any combination of those together, then I was out for like 6 hours writhing in pain on the floor. And so I stopped eating those. That helped with the stomach pains, not so much the energy. But it was a curiosity thing with me, because I'm like, okay, well, there's some food problems that cause some issues, but so maybe I'll eat a little healthier. So then I kind of cleaned up my diet, started following clean eating. And that in combination with that, I also started to count my calories because I wanted to lose weight. So I did that over a 6-month period, and I lost the weight. I did feel quite a bit more energized. Still struggling with afternoon energy crashes, and like in the evenings, I didn't want to do anything. But I was able to at least join a dance class, one thing a week. That's all I could handle. But then I kind of like let go of the restrictions that I had imposed on myself for the weight loss, and started to kind of not so much go back to my old ways, but every once in a while I'd enjoy like a glass of wine or a slice of pizza or something. And then I started to gain the weight back and my energy tanked. I got really, really frustrated with that. And so that's when I went really hardcore with like, let's try all the supplements and let's try all the fad diets. I'm on keto. I tried, I was on about 24 different supplements at one point. And that's when I went into burnout the first time. So through all this, I got really frustrated because I was gaining weight. Thought I was doing it all right. Gaining weight, getting exhausted, getting frustrated, stressed out. So I went off birth control pills as like a last resort, figuring that was the reason I was gaining weight. Then I had horrible cystic acne and I got in touch with a naturopathic doctor for that. And through her simple food protocols, the acne cleared up, but I also started to get a lot more energy, like in a new way, like not just like waking up easier or staying a little bit more focused during the day, but like seriously, like radiant energy. Like I was happy. I felt awesome. I didn't want to sleep kind of thing. I had so much energy. So that really intrigued me. And that's how I ended up going back to holistic nutrition school, or going to holistic nutrition school. And then within that, I was able to understand that, there's a deeper root cause to this fatigue than simply my diagnosis or not eating healthy or taking the wrong supplements. And so I was able to overcome my chronic fatigue. I had a burnout episode a few years ago after a fire in my condo. It destroyed it. So that was really, really stressful. And I pulled myself out of that within about 4 to 6 weeks. I'll give myself 6 weeks of like hardcore burnout. And then I pulled myself out of it just with food and a couple of key supplements that I no longer take. I only had to take them temporarily for the healing process. But that was really important to me, is just figuring out what the root cause was. And what was really cool about it was when I was only focused on energy. First of all, it was my skin. What was really cool was I was so only focused on my skin. And my energy improved, my digestion improved, my mood improved, my mental focus improved. It's like all these cool things started happening. So then I shifted to like, let's get this fatigue out of the way. And so I can live a normal life. And then all these other things started happening. Like my weight dropped. I was able to maintain really like the weight I wanted to be at for a really long time. I'm still fine with it. I know I let a few things trickle back in the last couple of years. So I'm back to like, okay, let's slim down again and get my body back. And I'm on the path that I'm supposed to be on, and it's working. As long as I stay consistent. And my sleep improved, and just all these amazing, my period improved. That was the biggest, like having a healthy, happy, like worry-free period that just comes when it's supposed to, no problems, almost forget it's supposed to come because there are no PMS symptoms. It's easy. I don't have any issues with it. No problems whatsoever. And now one of my main indicators of my health is how healthy my period is. And so that is actually my main focus right now. And losing the weight again, and maintaining my high energy, I just focus on my period. And so that's one of the true north indicators that I help my women really get in touch with. Even if they don't have an actual period, we can use previous information. That's where your health story is so important. And we can align with your, like anything we can see if you're still ovulating. We can align with that. We can align with the moon phases, anything like that. But that is the really main true north indicator of your health. And so that's it. I just wanted to let you know that as a woman, you deserve to feel amazing. You deserve to feel healthy. You deserve to be on your path of radiance and vibrancy and all these amazing things. You deserve to feel successful, ambitious, driven, motivated, everything that you want, and to have everything you want. And if you're struggling right now and you're frustrated that nothing's working, you're just not on your personal health path to higher energy and focus and all of the things that you want. So keep watching. If you're interested in maybe diving into your root cause and getting your personal nutrition profile created so that you know exactly what you need to do to feel amazing, and you can get rid of some of the confusion and the fluff, reach out. I have a couple of offers available to get you started with that. That's it. See you next time.